YouTube land, what's good? It's your boy B Heard, aka Brian, aka Prince, aka Prince Vegeta Wild Hayden. Be sure to leave a like on this video, a comment on this video, and subscribe. And join the royalty or royalties, whatever you want to call it. Your boy is trying to get partnered on YouTube, so that's 1,000 subscribers. So please be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys. Enjoy the video. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages in the world, it is your boy B Heard, aka Brian, aka Prince, aka Prince Vegeta Wild Hayden. Another episode of Tyler Brian Hour, or TBH Hour, or TBH, whatever you want to call it. Episode 33. Blessed and highly favored to get to this point. I'm going to pass it to my co-host, Tyler. You want to say something to the people?
Good evening, people. Good evening, people. Is your co-host, Tyler, the Libra, a.k.a. TTL, a.k.a. Tyler Hendricks. It is episode 33 now, and yeah, this has been an incredible feat for us as far as, consistency goes. We didn't do one last week because, it was just, I don't know what happened with you or me, but, we just, our schedules kind of just didn't match up, but, we're still blessed.
I would say it's definitely been me, just because I don't know if you can tell the difference in the sounding of the audio quality. I got these blankets that I was doing a lot of research on, like the multiple podcasts.
I actually like these blankets. Where you
They're I got them from Amazon. They're supposed to be soundproof, and I think they work well if you had something to hang them on. And I think they even work well on the floor, kind of how we have them now, like around you. But it's just, there's still a lot of sound and just shit going on in Tyler's apartment, which I do apologize, because I do want to get guests on the podcast again and just have like that dynamic range. But I just want it to be enjoyable to listen to. Like, the conversations might be funny, the topics might be good, but if it's not enjoyable to listen to, a lot of motherfuckers are not going to listen to the podcast. So I do apologize for that. But, trial and error. Hopefully you still like this episode. Hopefully you still enjoy it. Hopefully it's not sounding too terrible. I don't know.
We're back to the big table on this one.
Yeah, back to the big table on this one. Just to test out these blankets. Hopefully they do sound all right. But if they do, I mean, shit, I'm willing to have guests on again and do all that jazz. Tyler, where's the status of your mental health? How you been these last few weeks? Because I guess it's been a while since we did the pod.
Yeah, and I would say I'm doing fairly good. I'm actually doing pretty all right. That's the first time that I feel good about myself as far as like my mental health being in, good stabilization and being able to actually say, you know what, every day is something new. Every day there's, this range of possibilities to where, hey, if you do this, then you'll be able to if you feel this way, you'll be able to feel that way, and, vice versa. So, everything about this new feeling that I have as far as my mental health goes is pretty good for me.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. It's almost like we switch roles. I feel like y'all can't visually see it, but I'm holding my index and my thumb together, almost like about to touch. And I feel like I'm on the brink of a mental breakdown if these motherfuckers touching me. Only because I don't want to say I'm scared. I'm not an indecisive person. Like, when my mind's made up, like, I'm pretty fucking headstrong on getting that. Like, also, that's why I don't need the $600 mixer for the podcast, but I feel like the $600 mixer for the podcast would make it better, because we could answer phone calls and almost do questionnaires and shit like that. And maybe I was going to dabble in with Patreon and do more and different things. But I just feel like I'm in this scary, dangerous path that I could either take it and kill it and be this successful, energetic, great son, great friend, great, lover, whatever, grandson, all that shit and above. Or I really, really, honestly, I don't know why, but feel like I can pull the Britney Spears where she shaved off her fucking head and disappeared from the fucking world. Like, I really feel like both, and I don't know which way to go. I really don't. Because it's like, I want to interact with people, and I want to have the best interest for people, be there for people, but it's like, I need to fix certain shit in my life right now, and I'm just not happy with, like, some of the, not decisions, but I'm just not happy in my situation, so it's hard to, like, fake it. But motherfuckers act like you should be happy right now, and I think that's another thing that fucks with me, because it's like, I think since I'm just...
You gotta look at everybody's definition of happy, first of all.
Sure.
And second of all, don't be afraid to take time for yourself. And I wouldn't say necessarily don't be afraid to not give a fuck about anything about people at this time.
But it's hard too, because it's like, I feel like honestly, when I don't do that, like my phone is pretty dry and I'm pretty alone. And being alone is okay. I'm not saying you can't be alone, but it's like, this is also coming from the nigga who's, like, I've lived by myself because my mother had cancer. I've been an only child. I've, lived in an apartment by myself. And I've always been relatively by myself already. So I already know what that world is like. It's not like I need to get from that world or just stay in that world to be like that. But I don't know. I don't know. I might be going crazy. It could just be, stuff with with Jazz, my cousin dying, and it could be stuff with my grandpa because that's still relatively fresh. And then also, probably another thing, I don't want to say this on the podcast, but fuck it. But my parents have been having me deliver food for my grandma. So it's just basically making sure she's eating and all that good stuff.
Right.
Only reason that it bothers me is because when I'm not, I usually do the YouTube stuff and the Twitch stuff before I go to work. So then it's kind of conflicting the schedules because then I don't want to visit my grandma to be a chore. I used to try to visit before COVID, my grandparents once a week and just see how they're doing and check with them because it's almost therapeutic. It probably was my therapy in a weird way, but I want to make sure when I visit them it's genuine and I can stay for a while. So I just kind of hate that feeling of oh, here's your food, I'm just leaving.
Right.
So, but then it's I don't have a fucking schedule as it is. One of the hardest things in my life, the most consistent thing in my life is my inconsistency at everything. And so, it feels like another burden to add a plate. But then, Dad did a nice gesture to kind of reassure myself that I have to not think about myself. He's you just gave me some money and he was like, yo, I appreciate you for stepping up and helping out your grandma and visiting and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, no problem. But then that reassured that I was like, yeah, I probably should be doing this. But it's just balancing it all.
But also stuff like that, it shouldn't really have to be too much of, what your dad did for you. That should almost be just, common courtesy and just
True.
love,
True. But
I wouldn't call that as being stepping up. I just call that as looking out for my people.
I mean, shit, my dad had to step up. My dad is the second oldest, and he's had to step up in every role. I think, I don't know. Honestly, I never really asked him, but
Is your pops the dominant sibling?
Not really. I would just say he's
the voice of reasoning for everybody else.
Not really. I would just say he's more so the one that I guess the one that if you were to go visit their house or something, you ever visit a family's house and be all right, who's the golden child or this is the child you want ever he's more of that, but he does it by just assuming the role. He doesn't do it I need to do this or I want to do this, but he's just oh nigga, I got a choice, so hey, I'm just here, then I'll do it. And I'm not saying that my other uncles ain't stepping up, but they're not doing what he's doing. They're already kind of falling back, and that's the fear that I have. Is it was easy to be with my grandma and support my family when my grandpa first died because everybody's in town, everybody got the funeral. That's easy. We're getting to the point where we're in February, March is coming. April's coming up. April, May, and June, there's not really that holiday where you have to come down and visit family or interact with family. So it's when it's summer out, it's nice out, and say if COVID's not as crazy as it's been, who's really going to visit? And that's the scary part. Actually, I never asked you, do you feel the need to, I don't mean need in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying, do you feel the need to visit your mother more with pops passing? Yeah,
for an extended period, around obviously the 2019 that year, and then a little bit last year, because I don't know, mom, if you know my mom, she's never been really one to kind of voice her emotions about stuff. She's just kind of like me. She just keeps it going. The world moves on and stuff like that, and for me, it's more of, looking at her body language and stuff like that, as far as communication from me and her goes, as opposed to her and her other kids, like my brother, most of their conversation is like verbals, I guess. And like for me, I could just go to mom's house, chill there, sleep, take a nap there if I want to, and like, she won't say anything about it. But like, I wouldn't say I'm the golden child because like obviously like I'm the baby, I'm the youngest, but like I would say that I have more.
I would say you're the golden child.
I would say I have more structure, as far as like her looking at me and like basically seeing what I am, So there's always that, and I don't know. It's just that going back to what you said, I guess I felt the need to like see her every like week or so, just because that's mom,
right? Which I need to visit her. She's pretty much like my second mother, and I haven't visited in a long time. I feel bad for that.
And
you have to let me know.
But she don't like you anyway. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, with Pop's passing and stuff like that, it was really hard. I know it had been hard for her because it was kind of hard for me to deal with emotions and stuff like that and what I felt. So,
because were you at that house at that time, or were you still living there?
I was living there.
Okay, and then you moved like.
I moved back in from. Me and Sway had an apartment. Shout out to Sway. Like back in 2017. I moved back in there like June of 2018.
Because I guess what I was trying to say is like you was there for a few months before you like moved out. So she, right? Or
no, I stayed there literally the entire all of 2019.
Okay.
And then
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, so. And obviously she has a job where like she works like literally from sunrise to sundown as far as like the post office goes. And so there wasn't, and I was just home alone. So there really wasn't much, conversation throughout the day. I had work, she had work. And I look at the time that we have together. I value that the most out of anything, any friend, well, it's going to sound bad, but like honestly, any friendship or anything else of that sort, because like I know how she's hurting in some way, because I mean, her and Pops have been together probably for like 40 years.
Wow, yeah,
they've known each other in high school.
Yeah.
They grew up together, so like it's one of those things where like when that person is away, like what else, like what else is there, like.
Because, like, that's the same thing with my grandparents. My grandparents were together 50 years. And, like, my grandma, like, she has to pay this nigga's taxes now.
Right.
And, like, he had a whole dilemma with that shit. So, I can't imagine that stress. And it's, like, it's just hard. Like, when someone dies, it just lingers in the back of your mind. And, like, you could live, but you're not the same.
Right.
Because it's, like, I read
for me, it was just completely like, yeah, I guess I handled it outside pretty well, but as far as the inside, I was hurting that entire year, dude.
I believe it.
As far as 29, like all the shit that I did in 2019 and throughout is just, I was completely on autopilot the rest of that entire year. I was just going through whatever, and I did not give a fuck about what happened or who I hurt or what was going on with anything else. I just knew that like I'm feeling this pain, so I need to express it in a way that I can't, or I'm just scared to. And
yeah, I mean, because even when you told me I was at work, like I was
going to work.
I was in dish, and then I was just cleaning dishes, and then you told me, and I think I was playing music, so I always like checked my phone. Saw the message, and then I just saw it, and I just was like, damn, like that shit just killed anything that I was thinking about, and that just fucked me up. So like,
I mean, it's crazy now that I think about it. It's almost next month, the 23rd would be Pops' what would have been his 66th birthday.
Wow.
So, that's coming up, and then literally a month later, his angel date comes up, the 26th, April 26th. So, like, it's those two things right there that kind of just be like, wow, like, this man is obviously not here anymore. And like I've dealt with it. You know, I've dealt with the hurt and stuff like that the best possible way that I can. I'm not saying that I was right in any way, but like I've dealt with it. And, you know, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about that man as far as, you know, what he would have liked me to be and what he sees me for today.
So then let me ask you this, like, because this just kind of came to my head, and it's part of the mental health checkup. My nigga, is it normal to be fucked up? Like, the more I'm thinking about it, like, I guess it's admirable that I acknowledge that I'm fucked up, but it's not good. And like,
at least you know that it's there and like it's present. If anything.
Well, like even with your situation, you think it's normal? You think it's okay? Like, I get everybody goes through shit, but I don't know if we're supposed to realistically go through a lot of the shit we do. And then not to mention, it's like there's also bullshit triggers too. Like, there's something that I seen on Twitter today, and that shit triggered the fuck out of me. It shouldn't have, like, because at the end of the day, it's the internet, and I can't do nothing about it. But
right.
Me as a human being, and me caring, and me wanting people to enjoy the things that I like, it did. It rubbed me the wrong way. So, but I don't even know if that's because I'm human. I don't know if that's because like I got issues. I don't know if I have it. So I might be crazy. I don't know. But do you think it's normal or?
I don't know, man. As far as normal goes in today's society, and as far as being emotionally distressed and being a hurt, broken person, how can it not be normal? You know, like how can like one person go about certain things that happen in their lifetime and not wear it on their shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and apart from that, you know, not everybody has a perfect fucking life.
Sure.
Or a perfect day. I have yet to have a perfect fucking day.
I'm waiting for it. Like, you know how, like, do you remember, like, MTV's Guy Code? And then, like, they'll bring, like, some rapper, celebrity. Like, this is what happens in a good-ass day of mine. And, like, obviously it's a rapper, celebrity. So it's probably possible they can have that. Nigga, I've wrote it down before. It's been a long time. I've yet to have that good-ass day. I've yet to have a good-ass day. And then it also makes you think about, like, the 90s and shit like that. Like, I hate this narrative that a lot of people think that our age or like our generation, or I don't know what the generation in the term is anymore. I think we're generation, what the fuck we are.
We're millennials.
Yeah, that. I hate the narrative that we're soft or we're weak or like take us back to the 90s. It's like, no, nigga, like we've seen more shit. Like, the internet is the greatest thing that happened to this world, and the internet is also the worst thing that's happened to this world. But we've also seen more shit than the average person. Like, I hate to say it, but I'm probably immune to death now. Like, I've seen more people get shot in, like that Philly situation. Did you see that?
No, I didn't know.
It was like some neighbor and some other neighbor were arguing about shoveling. And, like, they got in a full argument. One neighbor went to the
yeah, I did see that clip.
Shot. Yeah, like some crazy shit like that. But I'm used, like, it wasn't shocking because I seen someone get shot. It was more shocking, like, damn, he really did that. But it's like, I'm used to that shit too. And that's not a good thing. And I feel like that's what people fail to realize. Because, like, that's why. I have
cousins that got shot. I got cousins and uncles that have been stabbed. I've seen death before laying on my kitchen floor. Like, it's just like, it's one of those things where, like, it's coming. You don't know when it's coming, but fuck, it will be here.
Like, my nigga, like, there was a time where I think 4 or 5 homies I know from, like, college in, like, Denver.
We got friends that have been, you know, God rest the dead.
God rest the dead, of course. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I have friends that niggas don't even know about that. Like, I had 4 or 5 people that died within the last year. And that's just the friends alone.
Man.
Like, niggas been going through it. And niggas don't even know. That's the craziest part about this shit. Is like,
you gotta watch out for years coming on, man.
Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is, like, I don't know if you feel like this, and sorry we went on this long tangent about mental, but, like, I don't know, I guess I'm going through it. I don't know if you feel like this. Is like, I feel like I'm trying as hard as I possibly can, and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
It's still not enough, regardless of that's being a friend, being a son, being a grandson, a lover, or like talking to someone and caring for someone. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. Even as a content creator, Like, it was my fault that we didn't do a few episodes of the podcast, but it's like I'm trying to get more shit for the podcast so it can sound even better. So if anyone's listened to this point, you enjoy it. But I still feel like I'm not doing enough because I don't know if I'm doing enough promotion.
You know what's crazy is that
merch.
You feel like that you're not doing enough and you feel like that you're slacking, but at the same time you're trying to take care of your health as far as like your mind goes. That's the crazy thing about me is that like fuck, I've been taking all this time from photography and stuff like that like I've been trying to be okay with me and as far as like me being a person goes, so like I could actually get back out there and do the shit that I love to do.
I feel that. And also I feel like when you're not I don't know if you feel like this, but when you're not working out, it hits harder mentally. Like shit hits harder, I guess. Because like when you work out, like you're moving weights, you're clanging and banging and shit like that. So I guess that's like
I'm getting my body right. That's another thing.
Your frustration. Well, that's good that you're working out. I'm not working out, so I feel like my mental shit hits harder. But
I went to the gym probably like 4 times this week.
That's really good. I need. Oh, bro.
Your boy's pushing 220 off his chest.
Nah, see, I'm weak as hell. I can't even hit that now. I feel embarrassed. I need to get to it. But speaking of weights and lifting and all that, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. We are currently recording this the Super Bowl Eve, Saturday night, where they're actually announcing the NFL awards and Hall of Famers. Have you seen some of the Hall of Famers already? The boy, Triple OG, Captain Forehead, I love you, but you know, Peyton Manning got elected to the Hall of Fame. You love to see it. Calvin Johnson,
Megatron got elected.
That's
crazy. That was actually crazy.
Charles Woodson got elected too.
Well deserved.
But like, yeah, Megatron surprised. I guess that's what he's honestly owed from playing in Detroit. And like, I don't even know if he went into a playoff game.
Every single play that man had to do, it had to be a highlight. I mean,
honestly, but that's the crazy thing about sports too, is like, I felt like he deserved to play more, but he couldn't play more because of the shit that was going on. Because Detroit was just shitty. And I mean, get your money and you know, get your health. Because honestly, he just kind of played in Detroit and was like, I'm out. Because we don't even hear from him, really. I think this is probably the first time in a while we heard from him.
Yeah, he's just vibing. He's just living his life right now. And it makes me go back and think, you know, would he have been Megatron somewhere else? Did it only have to be Detroit?
I think so. Well, shit. Because like, a lot of people have this narrative that Stafford's not a good quarterback, and I think they're smoking crack if they don't think that. I think he'll elevate the Rams. I don't know if he'll elevate the Rams to the point where they'll beat the Packers if they're in the same situation. Like, they could probably win the West. But at the same time, like, that defense was the one getting touched, and that defense is really good. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers were just good this year. But who knows? Like, Calvin Johnson with, like, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Not to say Stafford's not a good quarterback, but he's not them. Drew Brees, like, who knows what kind of numbers he could have put up? And then not to mention, who knows what kind of numbers he could have put up in the playoffs? Like, he's never had the chance to play. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember Detroit going to the playoffs ever with Calvin Johnson. If they did, let me know. But
have you seen this man's injury list from literally the year that he was drafted till on like last year?
Who's?
Matthew Stafford. I always knew he'd been prone, but
bro, he takes a lot of damage. Like, he took a lot of damage. Like, if you're on a bad team, that means usually your quarterback's getting hit, your quarterback's getting touched, and he's getting injured. So I believe it.
But
I believe it. See, Aaron Rodgers got MVP. How do you feel about that?
Fuck Aaron Rodgers, man.
Oh.
That's coming from a fellow NFC, team.
I guess that's right. So do you think now it would almost...
My boy Justin Herbert got Rookie of the Year coming from Eugene, Oregon, the University of Oregon.
They just announced that?
No, it wasn't just announced, but
like the NFL honors are going on right now.
But like a couple hours ago.
Oh. Man, they should have given it. It should have been Cole.
Nope.
Justin Jeffries went off this year. 1,400 yards as a receiver.
I'm not saying he didn't.
As a rookie receiver with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback? Come on now, stop it. Like, that nigga went crazy. He needs that love. Like, I hope, man, they should have done Cole. I'm not saying Justin Herbert don't deserve it, but Justin Jefferson deserves it too. So, like, they kind of hold my man for that.
Let's see. Aaron Donald won his third Defensive Player of the Year.
Over TJ Watt, really?
That's crazy as hell.
I mean, TJ Watt had a great season, but I guess it's because like you're automatically almost going to get double teamed always as an interior defensive lineman,
right? Yeah.
And the fact that it's not like he plays like the third gap or the fifth gap, he's in the like 1 or 0, like he's right there in the middle, in the trenches, and still getting sacks and tackles and all that shit. Like Aaron Donald is a beast among men. So, what was your favorite Super Bowl moment? Is there any?
I just saw a tweet that said TJ Watt got robbed, but
yeah.
But favorite Super Bowl moment.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be the 2 against Brady and company Patriots. One was 2007 and the other one was 2012. Actually, 2011, 2012 season.
Yeah,
and
I guess he's the only person to really do it. And so, is Eli a Hall of Famer? Would you say that as a Giants fan? Would you say Eli is a Hall of Famer?
Eli Manning is in top 10 he might be actually number 10 according to his jersey number. He might be number 10, has most passing yards in NFL history.
So does that make him a Hall of Famer? That's not what I
2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, but he has some mediocre seasons, especially towards the back end.
Yeah.
It's kind of ass.
And what's crazy is that like I've been asked this question before, and honestly, he will be a Hall of Famer just off those 2 rings.
I don't think he's first ballot, but sure, I can see Eli in the Hall of Fame. But I think also they should raise up the number. I think 7 or 8.
You know, Ben Roethlisberger is the only active player
from
quarterback left from the 04 draft.
I don't think
Eli's gone. Phillips gone now.
But you know what rumor has it? Bell is on his contract ends this year. Antonio Brown's contract ends this year. Antonio Brown just said recently during the Super Bowl media that him and Mike Tomlin still have a good relationship. So if Tomlin's still there, if Le'Veon Bell, and because they might lose James Conner, if Ben Bingham, drop some of that contract down and they get those 2 back, they might have an old-time squad for the one time for the last ride. Because of Pouncey, Ben, LB, Claypool, Antonio Brown, like that Steelers team might be all right. It might be. I don't know if they're going to do it. Big Ben kind of got an ego, so I don't know. But my favorite Super Bowl moment, I think I've recently, was probably Super Bowl 50, where, Peyton Manning got his last hoorah.
Hold on.
Beat Carolina.
You know who was our backup quarterback for for our Super Bowl back in 07?
Wasn't it the hefty lefty?
It was the hefty lefty, the Pillsbury throw boy.
I can't believe he actually got a ring. That's crazy. Did he die, though?
Yeah, rest in peace to the dead.
That's crazy. And then, it's not my favorite Super Bowl moment, but this is a notable Super Bowl moment. The first Super Bowl with Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, when they played the Seattle Seahawks. Fun story is I was driving to college.
I saw that.
Relax. Hold on.
Me and Brent was
okay. Relax. Okay.
Bro, we turned the TV off.
Can I tell my side of the story? Though. So, I was going to junior college at the time, top 5 junior college in the nation. Boy, was kind of decent wide receiver, whatever. And then so I picked up 3 of my homies. The 3 of the homies was, driving back with me to the college because, we lived in Iowa, and so the college was in Iowa. It was just 2 hours away, so we was able to go home for the weekend. So I'm driving back to the college, and like the timing of it, the Super Bowl had already started. Unfortunately for me, I get the notification. I'm playing music in my car, right? So then I get the notification that the game has started. So I'm like, oh snap, the game! I gotta get home. Driving, I see 2-0. Seattle. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I don't know how Seattle got a safety all of a sudden. The game just started. Okay, driving some more. I'm like half hour out, whatever. It's like 9-0. I'm like, all right, that's weird. 9-0. I don't know why Denver ain't did nothing yet. I'm still driving. 16-0. It's like 23-0. Nigga, it's like if it was a 2K game, they had to give up the 6 before I even got back. Right. I got back. I got in there. Shout out to the boys. I found the other Denver Broncos fan on my floor, on the 5th floor. Nigga, we was just watching the Broncos just get their Chiefs clapped in the Super Bowl. Just depressed as hell. I was just like, man, this shit sucks,
The
bro.
tweets, man, they were the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Bro, I just wish, I feel like this might be biased because I'm a fan, or like, I really believe in like right place, wrong time, things of that nature. I feel like shit would have been different had I been there to watch the game. I don't know why. I just feel like it would have went a different way. They might have still lost, but I don't think they would have got their cheeks clapped like that. I just
like they gonna be like they were gonna call. Damn, B Hurt ain't here.
like they have the power.
Like, oh, he ain't watching us. Okay,
That was pretty much it. And then, yeah, that shit. It wasn't my favorite Super Bowl moment, but I definitely remember that. So speaking of the Super Bowl, and they say that you're never supposed to bet against Tom Brady, but unfortunately,
I'm not betting against that man. Fuck that.
I think I'm betting against him.
You might as well. Right.
He's the GOAT. I don't have that hate in my heart that I used to have for him. But ever since he left,
there's been 55 Super Bowls.
That's true.
He has been to 10 of them.
That's true. But he hasn't won all 10 of them. So, well, all 9 of them that he's been in already. So he's already acceptable.
Oh, okay. Who would you think in history is the greatest quarterback of all time? Joe Montana? We think of Joe Montana as being the best quarterback.
I did. Like when I was a Tom Brady,
he is past Joe Montana.
I know. I'm saying when I was a Tom Brady hater, I still put Joe up there. But now Tom got 6 and shit like that. That's insane. And I mean, part of me does want Tom to win the 7th because, like, obviously they said he couldn't do it without Bill Belichick, so that'd be like a slap in Bill Belichick's face. Also, Antonio Brown would get a chip. Mike Evans would get a chip.
Gronk would get a chip.
Yeah, Gronk would get another chip. Leonard Fournette. There's a lot of players on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that I would like to see get rings, but at the same time, I really think that Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes and what they're doing is just unreal, and like them niggas just balling.
They just run. They run up the score on somebody quick and in a hurry.
Like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, and not to mention that Le'Veon Bell will get a ring too. So like, there's a lot of people on both sides I would like to see get rings, and also. I don't know if you about it, but you know what I'm saying? If they have a parade in Kansas City, bro, I might have to go this time around. I didn't go last year, but like it would be kind of cool to go this year. I would love to see it just to be a part of it.
Funky ass for Kansas City.
I would.
Parade.
That shit would be lit. You was bugging out. Like
I'm not a Kansas City fan.
Now
it was up in the Big Apple. It was up in New York.
Nigga.
With that man.
Nigga. Look me dead in the eyes. I'm hit the.
With that man,
I'm
Daniel Jones.
Too. I'm about to hit the eyes that we both know of, you know who. But I'm gonna hit the eyes. A lot of me say you would go to the Big Apple.
All through Manhattan.
A lot of me say you would go to the Big Apple. So you would spend like what, $1,000 just to get to Manhattan for a New York Super Bowl parade.
A round ticket to and from New York is about $400.
You're gonna drop $400 for like a Tuesday parade.
I would have to take some time off, but
that's what I'm saying. You ain't gotta take no time. We could just drive there then and go back.
I'm not going to Kansas City, bro. This ain't up for discussion. I'm not going to Kansas City.
I don't even like Kansas City, but I'll go. That should be lit. Because that'd be the closest one to us. What other Super Bowl would be close? I'm not going to. Well, I mean, St. Louis ain't football
if
team.
Minnesota ever want to act right.
You would go to Minnesota?
Chicago. Actually, if ever Chicago want to act right, I feel like that'd be lit too.
It would be, but Chicago.
That's not a smaller New York.
Chicago, different place. But I'm going to go 31-27 Kansas City. I feel like Patrick Mahomes going to be the MVP. Tom Brady, he the GOAT.
That's a high-powered offense from both sides, so I would say...
The only fear I have is, like, if Kansas City can't protect Patrick Mahomes. But, yeah.
I want to go 40... I want to say it's high.
Oh, wow.
So, 45, 40.
Tampa Bay.
TB. Tampa Bay.
Would Tom Brady be the MVP?
I don't know. I don't want him to be MVP. I don't think I want him to have all them damn acolytes. Yeah, I'll go with that. And I'm not a bet. I hold no money on this because I'm a shitty bettor.
I'm putting some money up because actually, fun fact, Thursday I betted on some NBA games, and actually I betted on the shitty ass Knicks, and they came through. And I bet $5 and I ended up winning $114. So it's kind of insane. So shout
That's
out
good,
to
man. Shout out to New York, man.
Shout out to New York.
Shout
LeBron
out to the
definitely
Knicks.
helped.
Shout out to the Knicks and the Nets.
LeBron helped. Portland helped, but Portland didn't have nobody. It was funny because like I was talking to my manager because me and him always talk about gambling and bets and stuff like that. And so I made a bet, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm thinking Portland gonna win." And he's like, Dame Lillard out." I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah," it said it on the ticket, the prompter. I was like, "Ah, shit." And then I didn't even know CJ McCollum was out too, and somebody else. I think even Melo was out. Somebody else was out. Like they had half their squad was out. They shouldn't have won that game, but they did. And like them winning got me $100 and something. So I was happy. I was happy as hell. I was like, damn, that's crazy though. They were not like playing.
Hey, since it's Super Bowl Eve, what is your favorite snack to eat on Super Bowl Sunday? I remember one year I came over to your crib.
Wings? I think wings I might go to. How about you?
Probably nachos.
I don't like nacho cheese. Like I just never like that shit.
I'm getting tired of the traditional barbecue smokies every single year. I see that literally in every single Super Bowl party I've ever been to.
I mean, they're cool, but I just can't eat a lot of them. I just really can't.
Let's see. Pizza is always an alright one. That's about all I see. That's about all I eat. Because I don't like getting too full on Super Bowl weekend because I still have shit to do tomorrow.
True.
And I
feel like
work or school or whatever.
I do think the Weeknd's going to kill it. I feel like he's going to have a good performance, especially since it's like COVID. So I doubt he's going to actually be a live performance. I bet they're going to just do some like recording, which will be nice and sound good. And I think that's better than a live performance. In my honest opinion, I think quality over quantity. I hope the commercials are funny. I don't know how the commercials are going to be with this pandemic and like a whole bunch of shit. I feel like a lot of people are going to beat the pandemic joke to a dead horse.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to be like either promoting quality and all that good stuff. And I love that. I hope I'm here for the commercials like that. But I just feel like there's not going to be a lot of funny, original commercials. But we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
Now, you know how I feel. I like to keep shit private, essentially. So I'm not going to give this person any clout on my podcast or my platform, so fuck them and everything they stand for. But the certain area that we live in, that we all, if probably most of you listen to, know the state that we are in and reside in. That's nothing to really talk about because I don't want you niggas to have my information like that. But
I'll put it out there. Put her name out there.
No, we ain't gonna put her name out there. Fuck that. She ain't getting no clout from us.
She's trying to kill people.
She is, but she ain't gonna get no clout from us. A certain person in our legislation, our government organization, whatever you want to say, lifted the mask requirement. Now, I heard about this, but I didn't read about this. Do you actually know? So anyone could go anywhere with no mask, or they're just not required?
Every single sign that you saw with no mask, like mask required, that will be lifted. Like in any restaurant, any bar.
For how long?
I have no idea.
Okay, Tyler, make this make sense to me. Does she not realize that she shut shit down last year around March 17th, or about March 13th to 17th, around that timeline? And it hasn't even been a year since she shut shit down last year, and it's not getting any better. Like, why? I feel like maybe businesses have hurt because of it. Like, I know our business, as my restaurant goes, it kind of has, because I feel like that was one of the factors of us not being really busy. Probably because a lot of motherfuckers just have this egotistical mindset of where they don't want to wear a mask.
Right.
But how do you feel about this? I feel like this is the dumbest shit ever. And I mean, there's days I get tired of
there's some things that you just expect stupid shit from people. Mm-hmm. And this honestly came as no surprise. I knew that she was going to do this within, this year. I knew it was going to come sooner rather than later.
I'm still wearing my mask. Even though there are days I don't want to wear my mask because, I be brushing shit out my teeth.
I'm still wearing my goddamn mask.
I feel like a lot
I don't
of
know what anybody has. So,
True.
And I don't like fucking with people like that in close range anyway. So
I'm kind of scared too because I I hope this don't mean that, like, I get a lot of everybody likes the mask. I understand it, but I just hope this doesn't turn into a lot more people becoming more relaxed.
We got over 1,500 deaths in Iowa just off of this shit alone.
I believe it. I fucking believe it. Like, motherfuckers are just not wearing masks. I understand. Like, I don't know. That shit's scary.
And you know what's crazy? It's in places outside of the metro of, like, central Iowa. It's outside of that. And most of the cases have been outside of central Iowa, so
somehow I'm not surprised.
But yeah, it is very, very, very idiotic for her to put this on the great state of Iowa, to put this on us. You are allowing more deaths. You are allowing more people to succumb to this fatal, very vicious virus, and you are not caring. You're not caring with a single bit. There's a lot of people. There's probably a lot of people that are speaking to her in her ear that are yes men, and she's not taking in consideration about families. I
don't want to be disrespectful, but I like. Sorry, God, but I gotta say, I hope somebody cough on her. I do. Like, I hope somebody cough or sneeze on her and fuck her all day up just because, like, that wouldn't have happened if you had a mask on, but you want to mandate a rule.
And she ran over somebody, by the way. Don't forget that.
Oh, shit. But,
protester, by the way.
To shown, just protect yourself at all times, whatever you believe in as far as protection goes, but please wear a mask. Like, motherfuckers won't wear a mask, won't wear a condom, and wonder why they shit. And then talk about, oh, I wonder what is in the vaccine. Nigga, you already got whatever fuck worst thing you could get.
You like condoms?
I always wear protection. I'm trying to get a Trojan sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, scratch it. I'm trying to get a Magnum sponsor. Actually, I'm trying to get both. Y'all, where's your one? Fuck them.
Yeah, I just now started wearing condoms. I'm not, yeah.
Well, at least you're safe.
Safe sex and paycheck.
You know, that's actually a great segue. That's actually a really great segue. I wanted to talk, what is the appropriate amount that you're willing to spend on a date? And this nigga disappeared. Okay. I think where we were at while this nigga's eating, we kind of took a little break. Sorry about that. I want to talk about dates and date prices. What is a good price for, say, you and your date? What is your budget usually when you go on a date? Because I think I have an answer that's respectable, but I want to know the vibration of it.
I always thought that, like, if you need a budget for a date, you probably shouldn't be on a date. I mean, that's what, like, anything like, okay, I'm not spending like $100 right off the bat on a date. So maybe probably like.
See, but when you said what you just said, like, what's the most you ever spend on a date then? If you just don't go in with a budget,
I think like $80.
Okay, then that's fine. I'm saying like my budget would either be anywhere from $50 to $100, and I really got likely to spend $100 because I'm just thinking of like different topics and different things we could go.
Where am I going? Where would you go to where you're spending $100 on a date?
I mean, like,
it depends on the date. Is it first date, second date, third?
First date.
Fuck no.
Wait, so how much are you spending on a first date? That's what I meant. Like, usually,
probably anywhere from 50 to
probably 100, like I said.
No, 80.
Well, because I figured like realistically, what I think you would do on the first date, unless you're trying to be really creative and in your creative bag, it's probably just like. I'd say,
especially in the summertime. Especially in the summertime, my dates are probably going to consist of a lot of driving because you know the car that I have. Not trying to
He's trying to go ahead, King. Go ahead, get your shit off.
Like just like talking and like conversating, going to like lakes and stuff like that. And I was just chilling.
I just like my bag in the summertime was definitely like just picking the right place and just. Picking the right place and just kind of just sitting there enjoying the view. Like sitting in the car and talking to someone with a nice view, that shit hit different. I don't care what nobody said. That shit hit different and it's dope. But most I'm gonna spend is 50 to 100, and I'm just thinking like dinner and movies. But at the same time,
as far as movies go around this society nowadays,
that'll be hard now.
Going now, are movie theaters even open? Like that's one thing that like a coworker was asking me about. I was like, I think movie theaters are open. It's just that movies are playing, but nobody's there to see them, so they just sit there and then they just.
Well, for like 100, I know AMC. I think it was AMC. It was one of the movie theaters, but let's just go with AMC for the sake of not knowing. So if I do apologize if this is false information, but they were saying that it was for $115, $120 that you and like 20 friends could rent out a movie theater, which would be kind of lit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's pandemic, so I don't know how people feel uncomfortable, but if you had 20 of your like good friends or close friends and you had the whole movie theater to yourself, especially one of the nicer joints where you kind of kick your feet up and like really recline and watch it, I think that'd be lit.
Yeah,
in my personal opinion. But,
just get to pick your seat wherever you want.
Feet up too, all types of shit like that. I'm more receptive to the Netflix. And I don't mean Netflix and chill like I'm trying to fuck, but I mean like Netflix and chill like just coming over to someone's crib.
The old term.
Just kicking it. Like I'm with more of those dates. And it's not like I sound like a dickhead, I sound like an asshole when I say that, but it's like that's just like more my vibe. Like when I go on a date or want to kick it with the person, I want to kick it with that person. I hate dates where it's like, let's go be by literally everything else to distract us from the world, and like it'd be harder to talk to you. Like I know, well, granted, it's like a comfortability thing, so I understand that if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. I'm just saying, as far as like, I want to spend one-on-one time with that person, and like that's my bad.
Take them out to Red Rock, Lake Red Rock, or Sailorville, or just walk or something. Just walk around the.
Nah, I like being posted.
All right.
I like being posted at the crib, because it's also like. What I'm realizing too is like I would love to find a person that like I could chill and like talk to you about any and everything, but I could also just chill in complete silence, because I hit different. Just being by a person and enjoying their company but not saying a single word, just relaxing is. I've only had it happen twice, but that shit hit different. I hit a different spot. To be honest with you.
Really?
I do, I swear. Have you ever done it? Have you ever just chill with your shorty or girl at the time and just relax? She ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. You might be on your phone. You might be like about to fall asleep. You might be watching TV mindlessly, and it's just peace.
Yeah.
That shit hit different.
I mean, it's all right, but at the same time, I'm like,
that shit goes.
You're like, let's go somewhere. And like the women that I've dated have been that same way too. Like, let's do.
But something. I mean, you can't always go somewhere. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Especially now. But
yeah, I understand that.
Because like even our like parks essentially open now, I guess.
Parks been open.
Because I guess I don't really lose their money, because it's like people just walk by and shit like that.
Right.
So I don't know how that works. Did you get any questions?
Nah, I did not get a single question.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
It's just been a dead week for everything. It's so fucking cold. Like literally, my phone said that it was going to be. Let's see, we got tomorrow's forecast 3, Monday 7, Tuesday 10, Wednesday 12, 3, 2, -2, 0, 0, 0, 10.
I'm just tired of motherfucking snow. I just want the snow to disappear.
I don't give a fuck like about it snowing. Like I just rather. Well, actually, no.
Like the snow.
I would rather have not snow. I don't give a fuck about the cold. It could be cold throughout, January, February, whatever it has to do in the winter months. I would rather it be cold than for me to be fucked up car wheel spinning, throughout the snow shit, and then ice on top of that. No, fuck that. No, I'd rather have coldness over anything.
Well, and
snow is just so pointless after a certain point.
Just give me the snow that's not on the road. That's it. Give me the snow that's not on the road, so I can just fucking drive. And like my car sits so low that my car like.
I'm tired of using my 4-wheel drive.
Like my shit is not very fun.
I'll sell you the nitro.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's 4-wheel drive.
I don't give a fuck.
All right, then. All right.
I don't want that. No, sir, Bob. So I did get one question. The one question I got was from the homie Ron, who's been on the podcast. I think Father Figure was the episode. So shout out to Ron. I don't think there's an answer where we both don't say ourselves in this answer, but he said, who would win in a boxing fight between you and Tyler? There's no way you're not going to say yourself, I'm assuming, right?
What?
There's no way you're not going to say yourself.
No, I'm rusty when it comes to fighting, so probably you.
I'm going to say me, but I feel like it wouldn't be easy. Like,
even though I probably have a lot more pain, but
and power, but I feel like I could keep the jab. I got long ass arms. Like, I don't think people
remember that. No, remember that one time we were wrestling and then you tried to choke me out for like the longest time. It was like 10 minutes. You had me in a headlock and I just wouldn't tap out. This was like back in like high school.
But I don't think that was a good headlock though, too. I feel like
because first of all, it was in your mama and dad's crib on the floor.
I just couldn't choke this nigga out. I don't think the headlock was in all the way though, because like I definitely learned like this is.
So I have a good pain tolerance, by the way.
But actually, I don't think that was like that wasn't a good chokehold, because I remember it was like a few years back. And then, like, I think me and my dad was wrestling, and I caught him off guard. I had that nigga the chokehold. I forgot. I think Joe Rogan gave me a tip. Like, that nigga said, like, put your hand in between your elbow or something like that when you're choking. I forgot what he said, but it was a way to add more pressure. And, like, I did it on my dad. And then I hear I let it go. He was talking to like my mom. He's like, that nigga really choked the shit out of me. It's like, he really choked the fuck out of me. You like him beat his ass.
You would got the whole door locked.
And then like
you had to find somewhere else to sleep.
And then sure enough, like, of course, like my dad catches me lacking like a week later and just starts choking me out. And my dad don't even like the N-word like that. So he's like, yeah, nigga. And like, I was like, all right, yeah, I pissed this nigga off. But like a good choke.
He'd be like the ultimate WWF villain. Like the backstage brawls where you just see one dude walk to the ring, they're getting ready for their match, and then all of a sudden you see another one just come up, run up.
My dad is definitely like, whenever me and him would wrestle or fight with each other, he's definitely an on-site person.
He's not doing that on-site.
Shut the fuck up. You're not finna let this gimmick come. My dad gonna put hands on you, and I'ma help. Like,
remember that match between Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 19. It was like 20 years in the making. Yeah, he won't get.
This nigga really won't get folded. Like my,
it's gonna be It's gonna be like good. It's been 15 years in the making already.
I'm tired of this nigga already. Is there anything else you want to add or say on the podcast? I know it's been a while, so I apologize, guys. But anything you want to close out? Guys,
I love every single one of our listeners, and I will love every single one of our future listeners. And like I said, every single week in, week out, take care of your fucking mental health. Make sure your mind is right, spiritually, mentally. Don't worry about so much physically. Just make sure that the proper meds or whatever you need to do, the proper meditation that you need to do to make sure you get your mind stable for whatever might happen within 2021, because it's still February, still kind of early. So make sure you do that for this year and then all the years to come, because fuck, like there's stuff that happens every day on a daily basis to people, and the things that we need to learn how to do as far as society goes is to kind of learn how to read and react better. The situation happens and we need to embrace it, realize that's happening, and be like, okay, where can we go from there? What positive outcomes can come from this? So make sure that you're doing that. Make sure that's instilled in your brain for not only yourself, but your friends, your family, anybody that you need to talk to about this. Just make sure they're aware of it, And that's all that I have for that. And it'll probably be the same shit next week or the week after, or whenever we decide to have another podcast again, because, the shit's kind of, every other bi-weekly.
I just realized I owe my dad money. I forgot all about that. But
you ain't coming into the house.
Yeah, I'm about to have to stay here with Tyler. I'm grinding, man. I'm trying to make sure this podcast sounds the best it can. I'm trying to make sure it's the best quality product it can be. So I'm trying to pay off some debts so I can get my income tax back. And if I get my income tax back, I'm going to upgrade the equipment, even though I just did already. Buying $50 worth of blankets to make sure it sounds better. And I don't know if it sounds better. I'm serious about this podcast game. I really think me and Tyler can take it far. So if you fuck with the podcast, please share it. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your auntie, your friends, family. Just, you never know who could use something like this. Like, it might not be for you. You might not listen to this point, but you could find the person that can invest in the podcast, or you can find the person that, like, this is their greatest shit ever. Because, like, when someone tells you that they're a fan of your work or they fuck with your work, it just hits different. So you never know what happens when you put someone onto something, and hopefully it works out in that favor, and it works out in that way. I might mess with Adobe Audition and maybe see how that sounds, because I am kind of in the Adobe world. Like, I do fuck with Premiere, Photoshop. I do want to learn another editing software, but yeah, I'm just continuing to look and improve the content as much as I possibly can, because I want the best quality product that we have. And I really feel like this podcast can go. I truly do. I really believe in it. I hope you guys do too. And I love you guys. Until next time. Bye.